Technology designed to hydrate and soften for all-day comfort. The more you move, the more CopperFit Energy Socks delivers.
I'm not thinking about that I have compression socks on. That simple fact that they feel better with them on than with them off makes me love these socks.
Our most advanced copper-infused compression fabric, made in FDA-approved manufacturing facilities, woven into our Easy On, Easy Off graduated compression sock to help reduce swelling and discomfort from prolonged sitting or standing.
I feel that soothingness in my calves and in my ankles, but they can make my feet feel good after 300 miles on the road, and they got to be good for anybody else.
Enhanced compression around the arch and ankles for extra support and relief of muscle aches and pains. And a soft, shock-absorbing footbed for all-day comfort.
All that arch pain that I typically have is just relieved.
They are super comfortable.
They do the job. They're easy and they're effective. That's the whole point of wearing them.
Commercials always promise, promise, promise. This was something easy to try. Just put on a sock, see if it works. I have to say that I'm a fan.
The first ever Easy On, Easy Off compression socks with hydrating ingredients, worn by thousands of essential workers across the U.S. Order your Energy Plus compression socks online now at GetEnergyPlus.com for only $19.99 or call 1-800-599-6452. Order right now and get a second pair free.
I get compression, I get comfort, all in one sock.
Motorcycle guys appreciate the better technology. This is better technology.
Feel the power of CopperFit.
So I had to quit college to help my mom, but I never wanted to quit my dream of a career in IT.
On Coursera, you can earn Google's IT Support Professional Certificate. No prior experience needed to enroll.
My job now is amazing.
Join for free at Coursera.org.
Taking you out to Portland, Oregon. Some gorgeous views. We got the beautiful sunrise from earlier this morning, some of the mountain ranges. You got the city, you got everything there. The beautiful sights of Portland, Oregon. We're going to continue to track an active pattern across the northwestern United States. Oregon could be in for some additional rain as we head through this Tuesday afternoon. Those rain and snow chances continue through today, and then we have a cold front that's expected to move in as we head through New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. So let's get into the forecast through the rest of the day today. Here's moisture that's pumping in from the Pacific. That'll bring in the potential for some light rain showers across the west coast. And then we also have a low pressure system that's making its way through the central United States. Brought in a little bit of snow out of Wyoming, and then some dry skies from Montana down through Idaho. Here's that next system that's likely to be moving in by New Year's Eve, and that could bring us our next potential for coastal rain and high mountain snow. Let's look at what we've seen so far. Well, first we'll get into these winter weather advisories along the Cascades, all the way up through the upper Cascades are under winter weather advisories. And then you get into the pink shades here. These are winter storm warnings. We're likely to be seeing possibility up to a foot. Even some of these areas could see 2 feet of snow as we watch our next system. These will last through Thursday. Likely see some more issued as we get that Thursday storm. Temperatures this morning in the 20s across the coast here. These are pretty significantly cool. That's well below average from Portland through Eugene, as we saw a little bit of freezing fog, and that could still be an issue with that moisture pushing on shore as we get into tomorrow morning's forecast. Into the teens out of Idaho, western Wyoming, some pretty chilly temperatures. Even Casper, check out that number, 7 degrees was your morning low. Wind chills made it feel even cooler than that. Along the coast here, with that energy that's kind of working its way in through today's forecast, we have some ongoing gale warnings all the way across the coast of Washington, and even getting down in through, or rather the coast of Washington, getting down through Oregon, where we could still see the potential for wave heights, 16 to 21 foot wave. If you're a surfer, that's some good news for you. And then you can see those temperatures this afternoon, warming up to the low to mid 40s from Seattle down through Medford, into the 20s out of western and northern Montana, down through Idaho. 26 degrees for your afternoon high in Pocatello, and then Wyoming sitting in the upper 20s too. Our temperatures have not seen too much of a drop from today versus yesterday, about 5 degrees cooler. Some of those areas actually a little bit warmer. Here comes the moisture. We see some coastal range, some high mountain snow through tonight's forecast. Cascades start to put down some of that snowpack. Snow fills into northern Idaho as we get through Wednesday morning. And our morning lows across Spokane, that'll definitely support some snow. West coast a little bit warmer than we saw this morning, into the 30s. And then we keep watching all that moisture that pumps in along that wave of energy. Could see some heavier rainfall from Eugene down through Medford all the way up through Portland. Warmer spots here in the valleys of southeastern Washington. Could see some additional rain through Wednesday, and then the snow fills in as you go farther inland from Boise, Idaho. Even starting to see some of that get in towards the Rocky Mountains here by early Thursday morning as a low pressure system develops, and that'll carry in towards the central United States. Wednesday's high temperatures pushing 50 as we get into tomorrow afternoon, and we got 30s as you go inland here. So we'll be watching the forecast. It could bring some significant snowfall totals, especially across the Cascades, and then late week and into the weekend, the Rockies could see some additional snowfall from those systems that'll keep the forecast active. Spokane, there's your afternoon highs in the upper 30s, and then we get to the 40s by Saturday, so you'll likely just see some rain. We're going to head down to the southwestern United States. San Diego got their fair share of rain yesterday, but we're going to talk more about that forecast.
Yeah, they're kind of pulling out of the clouds and the showers now. San Diego is looking really good right there. I believe that's down towards, I think that's La Jolla. I'm not 100% sure, but it certainly looks like the green grass right there, close to the cove. Okay, so mountain snow lingers here on Tuesday. That's really going to be through tonight, and then another round by the end of the week comes in. More snow chances, too, come into the north. So we'll tell you all about that here. High temps for today. San Diego right there at 61, breaking out some sunshine, so that'll feel good. 65 in Los Angeles. A much drier day today in L.A. compared to yesterday. 1-2 inches across most of town, and some isolated totals upwards of 3 inches across the basin. Vegas doing about 56 today. Still chilly in Denver with a little bit of snow shower action early in the morning. Now that's all gone. So 33 in Denver, 36 in Grand Junction, and 39 in Farmington, New Mexico. Then low temperatures overnight tonight. We're down to 14 degrees in Denver. Grand Junction down to about 9 degrees there. Farmington at 15, so that's kind of the ice box there across the four corners. Even Phoenix getting down to 39 degrees. Bakersfield 35, Los Angeles at 43, and Vegas chilly at about 35 degrees. California snow over the past couple of days here. Snow Valley picked up a foot of snow. Big Bear, high up in the San Bernardino Mountains, picked up 10 inches of snow, and Mount Baldy just about 4 inches there. But again, that's a lot of snow for California. And then Colorado, too, a lot of snow here. Coal Bank Pass, about 8 inches. Red Mountain Pass at 6 inches. And Molasse Pass, that's right there in the $1 Million Highway. Kind of all those totals are. That's in western Colorado. 6 inches there. Wolf Creek Pass, southern part of the state, down around 6 inches. And then Hermosa at 5.7. So a good deal of snow there. Winter weather alerts are still up for the next number of hours out across the Colorado Rockies and through northern New Mexico, too, with some winter weather advisories and also some winter storm warnings. Here's the front, kind of dissipates there, and through tonight, we're actually looking pretty nice across the four corners. Cal, Nevada, also pretty dry. That's overnight in through Wednesday morning, and then through Wednesday afternoon. Wednesday night, we again have some snow showers coming in out across Nevada, in through western Utah. That's going to be a quick little burst of snow, and some of the snow could actually get in through the Sierra Nevada as well. Wednesday for high temperatures, Denver, you're at 42, Grand Junction at 29, Farmington at about 36 degrees, Albuquerque at 42, Flagstaff 38, Phoenix 64, and Los Angeles on Wednesday, there's your high, hitting about 67. And then Thursday for highs, Denver, we're making a comeback here for New Year's Eve, 46 degrees there, Farmington it's still chilly at 37, Phoenix 61, Los Angeles 67 degrees, Vegas in the mid-50s, Reno Sparks kind of chilly there at about 43. And then here's Thursday for New Year's Eve. Little bit of snow, not much there coming across Utah and northern Arizona. And now we're into New Year's Day on Friday, and it looks good. Four Corners, Cal, Nevada, everybody nice and dry. Hey, check us out on Facebook. A lot of great pictures and videos right there for you to check out.
Hi there, I'm Bob Eubanks. Hey, if you're over 60 and you've taken a bad fall or your balance isn't what it used to be, well, you can get your independence back with 60 Up.
60 Up is a first-of-its-kind balance building system designed to restore your stability.
Oh, welcome into Weather Nation, home of the craziest animal videos and how they react to the weather. Here's your edition for today from Colorado Springs.
I'm not really. Do you know what's going on here?
No. He looks like he's like waddling his butt in there.
Well, yeah, it's like he sees something, but I don't think he knows.
Or maybe his butt's getting cold and then he lands and he's got to like shoot it back up in the air or something like that.
I think it's so cold. I do that sometimes when you guys shove me out the door here and it's snowing, which is really a sad thing.
Just like this, that's the cat.
Yeah.
You know, hey, it brings out the best of us. We had snow here in Denver last night. David and I love snow, so it always just gets you excited, except there's too much.
And when there's too much, and I think a lot of people in Iowa would be saying right now there's been too much. It's snowing pretty heavily there. Meredith will have more about your forecast coming up in just a minute. Let's take a look at the Viper radar. Here's what's falling from the sky. As we speak, eastern sections of Dakotas, Fargo down to the south over to Sioux Falls into Aberdeen. We have some snow falling here along I-29 at the moment. Sometimes it's been heavy during the day today, coming down pretty regular in Aberdeen, but it's about to finish there for Watertown, Brookings, and the rest of the area. Minneapolis, St. Cloud, coming down to Rochester into that area there too. Eau Claire, and then into La Crosse, I-90 throughout that region, down to Baraboo, and down to Wisconsin, you get into Madison, Milwaukee to Kenosha, still have some of the snowfall there also. Now, looking into Monticello, all the way down to North Liberty, there's even some lightning here. This is very heavy snow from Des Moines to the east over to Iowa City in particular, and there's a new lightning strike. We've got some snow rates here of 1 to 2 inches per hour right on the outer edge, coming into Iowa City at the moment on the southwestern side. Davenport to Eldridge and to Erie, still some of that is going to be heavy snowfall too from time to time on that northern fringe of things, which is what we're basically looking at. Down to the south into Peoria, Bloomington, into southern and western sections of Ohio, actually South Bend, Indiana getting some snowfall now, but western portions of Ohio from Findlay back over to Delaware, Columbus, a little bit of light snow being picked up here too. And then down to the south, way down to the south, some of the rain here from St. Joseph, Kansas City, trying to mix in from time to time in a few isolated areas there with a little bit of rainfall. Wichita to Enid. There may be thunderstorms here into the rest of this evening. That's an area that we'll be looking at. And speaking of thunderstorms, we'll have plenty of them, it looks like, as we move through the rest of this year and into the new year. We'll talk about that coming up in just a second.
But we do want to take you to places like Lincoln, Nebraska, where you can see earlier all the snow coming down. You had gusty winds, which created blowing snow. Yuck. That's not the pretty, fun, fluffy snow where it's lightly coming down and is not a problem. Unfortunately, for many of us that are under winter storm warnings and winter weather advisories, we are expecting to continue to see treacherous conditions even through tonight and into your Wednesday across this entire spread from even far western Nebraska, including the entire state of Michigan. That's where we are going to see both the threat of ice and snow, and it depends where you're at with your temperature, and that'll determine if you get snow or if you get more of a freezing mix or sleet. That's going to be right where that freezing line is at. Now, for example, Chicago, it's going to start off as snow as we get into the afternoon. Then it's going to make a shift to sleet and freezing rain. Might go back and forth a little bit depending on where that temperature profile goes, so just know that's going to be a problem. And we are looking at 1 to 2 inches an hour of snow pushing through Milwaukee, continuing through the late afternoon and early evening for us, and we could see 5+ inches in some spots. But across Kansas, just to give you an idea of what some of our snow reports were, we had anywhere from as little as 2 inches in Goodland to Selden coming in at 6 inches, Nebraska City at 7.5, Omaha, Nebraska in just the last 24 hours at 5.5,
And the snow, as I mentioned, continues to move through parts of Michigan and even as far as into New York State. But it's going to be on the tail end of this storm system as it moves from west to east. We are looking at a multi-day severe weather threat. And David, unfortunately, some of these storms could come overnight, which, as we know, are the most dangerous types.
Yeah, especially this time of the year when you start talking about what's happening in overnight hours in particular, which timing is going to be so critical here as we move along. Right now, we're looking at Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Timing is such that it's setting sun there. Beautiful shot from the Weather Stem camera in Baton Rouge. Low pressure back to the west, sitting across western sections of Texas is what we'll be watching. Deepening, moving off to the north as we get into the day on Wednesday. It'll set up a process of the Gulf of Mexico, picking up moisture now. And this is a jet stream that'll be lying in wait that digs way down to the south. This is going to be the subtropical jet that gets involved in this whole system. And by that time, we have a jet max here that'll be across the Arklatex, the Mississippi River. Looks like all the way down into the Gulf Coast area there, too, where some of this will be picking up some of the higher level winds and move through the region. Now, the low pressure itself stages into eastern Texas into Thursday. The adjacent cold front down to the south and east across much of Louisiana, coming across the Mississippi River there and working its way north through Memphis to St. Louis, Nashville. The warm sector will be over to Alabama and the rest of the region there too. And the cold front into western sections of Alabama by 8 a.m. on Friday morning. That's timing. So it's the New Year Thursday, midnight, and we'll be watching I-55, then over to I-65. We always say right there at I-55, it takes about 6 hours for everything to get to the Alabama border. So that would be after midnight again through the early part of the day. And if this slows enough, that puts the maximum heating of the day in eastern Alabama by Friday about 2 or 3 o'clock. So certainly something we'd want to be watching there as well as we move along through the period. It's all right now, just now beginning to initialize and come together. But as we go through time, we'll see more in the way of certainty as we move along. Now, we've also been talking about the risk for the stronger thunderstorms. There's going to be that risk on Thursday in particular that'll run from about Beaumont, Port Arthur, back over to Alexandria, into New Orleans, in Jackson, Mississippi, Hattiesburg to Gulfport, Mobile to Montgomery is where you have a slight risk. That becomes marginal to the north just a little bit, but encompasses all of the deep south, the Mississippi River, south of I-40 in particular. It looks like Shreveport, all the way back over to Beaumont, as far to the east as destined for Walton Beach along the Florida Panhandle, may be affected Thursday evening, Thursday night, and the new year on Friday. What a pretty sight this was. I think it was early this morning in Mount Holly, New Jersey, with some snow falling. We'll be back with more in just a moment.
I've never seen a pillow that didn't look like a pillow.
I've never slept better.
I feel good. I wake up ready to go.
This one is definitely going to be a game changer.
From CopperFit, our revolutionary new posture pillow designed to give back and side sleepers a better night's sleep for an energized day.
This is the most unique and innovative pillow I've ever tried.
It wakes you up revitalized.
I just feel more alive.
The Angel Sleeper is formed with special sleep posture contours and adaptive memory foam for proper spine and neck alignment that reduces pressure on your body for perfect rest and recovery.
It holds your head and neck in an aligned position so that you can have good night's rest all night long.
For side sleepers, the cradle design supports you in the optimal side sleep posture, while the unique side cutout rests your arm in the perfect position to help reduce stress on your shoulders.
The contour arm support is simply brilliant. If you are a side sleeper, you know that you sleep with your arms up.
My neck and my spine felt like it was a perfect balance. I slept like a baby all night.
For back sleepers, reverse the Angel Sleeper to the neck cradle for perfect sleep alignment to help reduce aches and stiffness in the neck, shoulders, and back.
Someone actually took the time to create something that works for how people are supposed to be sleeping.
The Angel Sleeper includes a soft machine washable pillowcase, copper infused to help reduce odors and bacteria.
You spend a third of your life laying your head on a pillow. So why would you not have the best pillow you can possibly get?
Order your Angel Sleeper now at angelsleeper.com for only $39.99 or call 1-800-752-2592. Angel Sleeper is also available in king size.
I love the king size. You just have more of a great pillow to go around. It's awesome.
We guarantee you will sleep all night and feel more energized all day.
You have to get an Angel Sleeper. Don't let another night pass by without one.
The new Angel Sleeper from CopperFit.
So I had to quit college to help my mom, but I never wanted to quit my dream of a career in IT.
On Coursera, you can earn Google's IT Support Professional Certificate. No prior experience needed to enroll.
My job now is amazing.
Join for free at Coursera.org.
Thanks for tuning in to Weather Nation. We're taking you out to some cloudy skies in Syracuse, New York.
Noon, so it's a slow-moving system to spiral through West Texas, Alex. But with a foot coming in some spots, that could be crippling here in the Lone Star State.
Absolutely. That's a lot of snow. Now, once Ivy moves out, we're going to turn our attention to the south. Our next storm system getting energized just in time for the New Year's holiday. We've got New Orleans, we've got Mobile, both in the 60s, mild, and both areas mark that we're going to be watching for the threat of significant severe weather.
Be an interesting setup too, because it's not going to be dependent on a blockbuster high temperature and daytime heating. This is more tied to the amount of spin that we have curling into this area of the southern plains and into the southeast. And because of that, this could last well after dark. This could be a nighttime threat, which is even more important considering the timing here. This says Thursday night. That also means it's New Year's Eve, okay? This is an important night for so many. The first night activities, you might be thinking, okay, well, we'll be outside. We'll be walking the streets. We'll be away from people. Well, now the weather is going to be messing with those plans as well. Starting pretty early in the day to the west, working its way eastbound as we go through the day into the night. Again, it's tied to this kind of tilted over trough. We call this a negatively tilted trough because instead of a U, shape like this, straight on down the middle, instead that axis point is tilted on over to its side. So with that, it changes where the upper level wind flow will be. We know that ahead of this trough with our new area of low pressure forming, those surface winds are coming out of the south, maybe even southeast. But the winds aloft just a little bit, you look at these white lines, those are the lines that are coming out of the, at about 5,000 feet up. Those are due south, and the winds even higher up, thanks to that, again, tilted over trough, are now going out of the southwest. So a big turn with height through the atmosphere will support organized thunderstorms, both along this powerful line that's going to be chugging along. We may have embedded circulations working their way up the line, right, going south to north, or individual supercells that form and blast north with an extra little rotation center near that warm front. So that means our severe threat will go all the way from East Texas and near the Gulf to basically the Tennessee border, maybe just over that where our warm front gets to, and everyone south from there. Continuing, Alex, well into the overnight across Alabama into Georgia and to the East Coast Friday.
All right, a lot to keep an eye on. Meanwhile, here on Weather Underground, we're keeping an eye on Winter Storm Ivy, including from the ground. Reynolds Wolf is in Madison, Wisconsin.
That's right, and Winter Storm Ivy says hello. I'm going to step out of the way for a moment and give you a clear shot at the Capitol right up the street of MLK. There you go. Here comes the snow, and there's more to follow. Full coverage on Winter Storm Ivy continues after these messages.
Do you have dry, cracked hands from constant washing, cold weather, and hard work? Try OK.
I watch the weather. And I talk about weather. When everyone else on the plane is watching movies, I'm looking out the window. Out there, big puffy mountains float. I can watch lightning being born. They say it's boring to talk about the weather. I say it's boring not to. Get into the Out There, the Weather Channel.
And we are out here in West Des Moines, Iowa. The snow is winding down, just a few leftover flakes here. Airport reporting 9 inches on the ground at the top of the hour. So we've had a healthy snowfall. In fact, if you get up to 10 inches, that would be the 3rd largest calendar day snowfall in December. We may not get there, but it will be number 4. Not too bad. And considering 8 inches fell in about 5 hours, let me show you what it looked like. This is mid-afternoon, and we could see barely up the to the interstate, I-35. We're just off I-35 in West Des Moines. And look at that snowfall intensity. A quarter-mile visibility. Luckily, we didn't have a lot of wind, so we didn't have a lot of blowing and drifting. But when you've got temperatures at 23, now 24, the consistency is powder. You can squeeze a lot of fluff, a lot of fluffy snow out of the same amount of moisture, and as a result, you get some good snowfall totals. You don't get the heavy wet snow that settles and is gloppy and it's hard to shovel. So, Mike Bettis, Des Moines averages about 3 feet of snow a year. Midland, Odessa, Texas averages about 5 inches. They could actually see potentially this much snowfall way down south in West Texas. Not out of the question.
It is not out of the question, Mike. So many things to consider here as we close out 2020 with literally back-to-back snowstorms coming our way, and the next one goes way down in the south. Mike, thank you. We'll have a little bit more from Mike there from a very snow-covered Des Moines in just a second. Want to say hello to you in Kansas City, where you've had some icy weather for you this evening, and up around St. Joe as well. And then in Albany, New York, where you've got all kinds of mess coming your way with rain and snow in the mix, all courtesy of our next system, as we're going to end 2020 on this note. We've got the low that's going to sit over the Arklatex here with the cold air on the north side of it, warm air down here to the south. So 2 different contrasts of weather here. The low is going to trek up through, say, the Michigan area, and that's going to bring some snow along a very similar swath that we've got now. Especially across, say, Missouri and Illinois. There's a look at Wednesday night, okay? Mostly rainforest along the Ohio River Valley. A little bit of icing could happen for us, maybe around, say, Cape Girardeau or Paducah. I think that's short-lived as now the warm air surges north here. But there's just enough moisture and cold air on the north edge of this where you get ice again in Kansas City just a couple of days from now, then extending back I-35 into Wichita here. Then notice how the ice overtakes us in Kansas City and in Chicago and in Rockford, the Quad Cities, South Bend, over around Toledo and Detroit as well. Eventually, Detroit, you go over to rain, and then the icy weather goes over to snow. But here we go again, another system that rolls in. Very concerned about how much ice we could see here with high likelihood of at least 1/10 of an inch of ice accumulation, if not more. So Kansas City, Peoria, Davenport, Moline, Chicago, I think Lansing, Michigan, and maybe near, say, Clyde, Ohio even. You're looking for some maybe very dangerous ice accumulation here. Into the northeast we go. A lot of us start off as rain, but there's some ice now into places like State College, PA, back down through the mountains of Maryland here. Then you head up into New England. Now it becomes a snow issue for you, likely, say, around maybe Springfield, Massachusetts, and then points northbound. You get the snow on New Year's Day. There we are Friday night, and then surging its way farther north as the rain overtakes a lot of I-95 here. So I don't think a lot of places along I-95 get a ton of snow here. There's a look at our total snowfall forecast. Again, Green and White Mountains, maybe up through northern Maine. These are the places where the snow's coming down for you. But Boston to Hartford to New York and Newark, may not be a whole lot of snow to see here to start the brand new year, Alex.
No, may not. And, you know, we're talking about that possibility of the various wintry precip types when we look at our next system, from the snow to the sleet, the freezing rain, and the rain. But a lot of times we know the snow, we know the rain, and then everything in between gets a little fuzzy. Well, it all has to do with how deep the cold air is at the surface of the atmosphere. So throughout the atmosphere, we, of course, have varying temperatures. And up in the cloud, you're going to have ice crystals. But if you've got warm air generally throughout the entire column, so above 32. Those ice crystals melt and we see our precip fall as rain all the way down to the surface. So that's above 32 throughout the column. The problem is sometimes we can get some of that cold air, that sub-freezing air at the surface, particularly in some of those valley spots. Cold air is dense. It stays stuck at the surface. So you get a little area of cold air right at the surface. You've got generally warm air above it. You have raindrops falling. They're not going to freeze as they fall. There's not enough time. It's not deep enough, that column of air, and instead it freezes on contact with sleet. You have a deeper layer of cold air, Mike, so our raindrops falling through the warm air are able to freeze into little ice pellets, so they're not coating things with ice.
Yeah, it's the atmosphere can be complex. Let's just put it that way. Alex, thank you. Great explanation. Still to come here on the show tonight. More on our top story. It's Winter Storm Ivy. And as that heavy snow and ice create dangerous travel conditions, we've got you covered. We're going to take you to the areas where it's snowing the hardest right now across Iowa and Wisconsin.
My lips get so dry and cracked, I need serious relief. That's why I use O'Keefe's Lip Repair.
Plains drivers are struggling on snowy, icy covered roads in some places. Over a half a foot of snow has already fallen for us. You're taking a live look at Iowa City, Iowa right now, and right along I-80. It's been a slow go. You can see how snow covered the highway is right now. At times I-80 has been shut down today, but how tough is that? I mean, one big rig passing another. It just seems dangerous tonight, doesn't it? And look how close some of the cars are following the big rigs tonight. Give yourself extra distance tonight and make sure that you're maintaining a safe speed as well. Plenty of snow still to go here across Iowa, northern Illinois, southern Wisconsin in particular. That's where the really heavy stuff is going to come down for you tonight. Increasing concern around Kansas City and St. Joseph tonight, where freezing rain is a concern, especially north side of Kansas City tonight. The pavement temperatures are down below freezing in a lot of places, so there are going to be some slick spots that catch you off guard if you're driving. Be ready for that, all right? Look at the thunder snow happening for us along I-80 tonight between Des Moines and Davenport, including right around Iowa City. Snow in Chicago right now. We're sitting at 27 degrees. Kirksville, I'd be worried you might get a thin little coating of ice coming your way with the temperatures there in the 20s right now. Still light snow coming down in the Twin Cities, in Aberdeen, and in Fargo with your temperatures down into the low 20s tonight. Where does all this snow go? Let's time it out for you. You can see through the evening that snow pushing eastbound here, really overtaking Wisconsin, northern Michigan in particular, I think, Grand Rapids, up to Traverse City. You're getting the snow, maybe in Alpena as well. Detroit, we may miss out on a bunch of the snow here, mostly a rain event for us. I don't think you get any accumulation on the ground. Then that rain pushing its way south and east as the system exits. How much snow is still to come for us here? For some of you still in that really heavy stuff, another 5 to 8 inches is in your forecast. Rockford, Wausau, maybe Racine, maybe a place like Milwaukee, and then over around Grand Rapids as well. You could get maybe 3 to 5 inches in the thumb of Michigan. If you get an inch in Detroit, I'd be surprised. You may fall, you might get an inch, but all of it's going to be melted away by the rain at the end of this, so I don't think you see anything on the ground, Alex, but still plenty of heavy snow to go here around Lake Michigan.
All right, we're going to be watching that. Then there's our next storm, just in time for the end of the year, start of the new year, offering up yet another round of wintry weather. Snow, also freezing rain will be an issue in the colder air. So you're going, all right, I'll take the snow. Freezing rain, an absolute mess. And unfortunately, looks like some big metro areas will get in on that freezing rain potential. We start things off late on Wednesday. You can see our first system continuing to exit out. Now a next system bringing that moisture back to the north. And the pink, that's the ice, that's the freezing rain. I want you to watch how this really expands into our Friday morning. So we'll be watching really very late on New Year's Eve into New Year's Day. Kansas City to Chicago, areas in northern Indiana, including Fort Wayne, getting close to Detroit, up into extreme northwestern and northern sections of Ohio. So a place like Akron. These are all areas that could be looking at some freezing rain potential, and anything above 1/10 of an inch is when you start to really have problems on the roads, even some spotty power outage. And there's a high confidence that a lot of these areas are going to be seeing seeing at least 1/10 of an inch, perhaps even more, from Kansas City to Peoria, eastern parts of Iowa, up near Chicago, at least parts of the Chicago metro area, sections of southern Michigan, northern Indiana, and again, that northwest corner, a place like Toledo. That's what I meant, Toledo, Ohio, watching for that possibility. Now we look at the northeast, and even some freezing rain possible there into the valleys of central and western Pennsylvania, so that I-80 corridor could be problematic. Even the Binghamton area seeing a little freezing rain before everything changes to rain as we head into the late part of Friday. Some New England snow, though, for New Year's Day evening. Well, coming up on Weather Underground, a dangerous severe weather threat shaping up in the south this week. We're going to break down where the risk of tornadoes and damaging winds is on the increase. That when we come back. And of course, we're monitoring the situation on the ground here with Winter Storm Ivy. We've got meteorologist Mike Seidel out in West Des Moines, Iowa. We've also got Reynolds Wolf. We'll check in with him. He's in Wisconsin. We look now with our storm trackers out on the roads in Iowa City and St. Joseph, Missouri, where Charles Peak is finding plenty of freezing rain accumulating ice.
An after-school pickup that doesn't let her down. Warming their hearts in the middle of a blizzard. Playing welcome wagon to your favorite person on earth. Never missing a single goal. Despite the weather, despite the storms, Bosch high-performance windshield wipers handle the harshest conditions to help you reach life's important moments. See what matters most with Bosch.
Julia? You look amazing.
Jenny Craig works. Introducing Rapid Results Max, our most effective weight loss program ever. Take your weight loss to the max with our delicious meals and our revolutionary recharge bar designed to increase fat burn and make you feel less hungry.
Doing Jenny Craig, my best decision ever.
You can lose up to 17 pounds in your first 4 weeks.
Max was so easy and it worked.
Call now. Limited time offer and flexible delivery options with Jenny Craig.
Hi, Sabrina.
Hi, Jen.
So this Aveeno moisturizer goes beyond just soothing sensitive skin?
Exactly, Jen. Calm Restore Oat Gel is formulated with prebiotic oat and strengthens skin's moisture barrier.
Oh, I love it. Aveeno, healthy. It's our nature.
Research shows people remember commercials with nostalgia. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance, here's one that'll really take you back.
It's customized home insurance from Liberty Mutual.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 Liberty. What makes the new DQ $6 meal deal for real? How about the Applewood smoked bacon, plus a Coca-Cola, fries, and a sundae? All full-sized, all for just $6. Making BFFs bacon friends forever. DQ, happy tastes good.
New to the breakfast battle, Chocolatey Life cereal. 24 grams of whole grains and chocolatey victory. Mikey likes it.
Now, get iPhone 12 on the 5G America's been waiting for.
This new iPhone Plus Verizon 5G is incredible.
Switch and get iPhone 12 on us. Unlimited plans start at just $35. This is 5G from America's most reliable network.
Perrier, the original spark.
I feel golden. I feel like glitter on my shoulders. I feel golden. I feel like,
Boldly refreshing since 1863.
Freezing cold. Blazing heat. Rain-X premium silicone wiper blades are engineered to withstand the most extreme conditions. They last 2 times longer than traditional wipers. If Rain-X premium silicone wipers survive these conditions, clearly they'll last in yours. Rain-X, outsmart the elements. Find Rain-X silicone wipers at these retailers.
Does entertaining get you down? Well, not anymore with Club Crackers. Prepare less and enjoy more with melt-in-your-mouth flavor. They're light, they're flaky, and they're
buttery. Thanks, Club Crackers.
DiGiorno has 7 delicious crusts, and your family food critics will rave. Croissant crust is flaky layers of buttery bliss. Rising crust is fresh baked deliciousness. There's a 5-star pizza for everyone in your family to love. It's not delivery, it's DiGiorno.
I want to be able to really hang.
I can feel the current starting to pick up.
When life and death are on the line, could you survive?
Welcome back into Weather Underground. Watching the severe threat over the next few days. It's going to be on the increase. So we start things off on Wednesday. This is our new system, our new disturbance moving east, able to tap into that Gulf of Mexico moisture, and in itself will trigger some severe weather across parts of Texas. So we'll be looking at some populated areas tomorrow afternoon and evening for the possibility of some strong storms, also some heavy rain. There's that Gulf of Mexico moisture coming inland, and so parts of the south from Texas all the way into the southeast will be the areas in that threat zone for severe weather. So tomorrow we're looking at places like Corpus Christi, Victoria, east of San Antonio, east side of Austin, but this does include parts of the I-35 corridor. Houston and Galveston, you are included in our possible zone when it comes to strong or severe thunderstorms. We start things off at 11 a.m. You can see the showers very scattered, but you can very clearly make out that southerly flow as some of these storms coming in off of the Gulf of Mexico. Plenty of rain showers scattered about by the time we get to the mid-evening and late evening hours, and those continue overnight. So as I mentioned, in addition to a severe threat, we'll be watching for the possibility of a flash flooding risk, too, with some repeated chances for heavy rain. Tomorrow and into early Thursday, the areas that we are watching for the flash flooding,